Hey YouTube, it's your girl Natasha. Welcome back to my channel. You probably clicked this because you're interested in making content, whether it's food related content or fashion content, whatever it might be. You have a desire to expand your personal brand online and you're starting from scratch. You're starting from the beginning. So you're kind of like, girl, what do I do? How do I do it? How did you do it? So this is going to be a very informal talk through about what I would do if I was a content creator starting today in 2024. What are some things I would do to get started? What are some tips and tricks? I mean, give you the tea, give you all the things that from my POV might work well if I was starting content today. So it's very informal. I am no expert. That's the caveat, okay, y'all? But if you just want real tea from someone who does this full time and makes multiple six figures every single year, keep watching this video, okay, as I continue to share a little bit about what I would do if I was a content creator starting today, wanting to go full time. And yeah, keep watching. So first things first, if I was starting off today and I didn't have a page, I was making a page from scratch, I would make sure that my page is of course gonna be on Instagram, but I'm not gonna limit myself to Instagram. I think that's the main point for anyone starting content today. Anyone starting content today, do not just start on Instagram. I would come up with whatever I want my name to be intentional about that first step. Make sure your name is what you want it to be so you don't have to change it 6 months later. Figure out your name, actually think about it, brainstorm, come up with what you want your name to be. And to be honest, I would do first and last name. Be who you are, like keep it. I know it depends on the niche you're in, but if I could do anything different, it would be to just have my name be my handle. So that's speaking for me and my platform, but I would make sure that my name, easy breezy, it's my personal entity and I own it. And so that would be what I would do if I was starting today. I would make sure that my name is on the platform and it would be that on every single platform. Now, every single platform, that essentially means like you don't need to only pick Instagram and TikTok. Like if you're starting from scratch, there is no harm in casting your net wide, honey. Cast it as wide as you can. Take a nice little deep dive and look at the platforms that might be emerging. Look at what's happening out in the marketplace. You need to be on YouTube. Obviously, you have that checked off. You need to be on Instagram, TikTok, Lemonade, Threads, all the things. You need to make sure you are casting a wide net and just make sure you have your platform and your identity across all of the top social media platforms, right? Doesn't mean that your strategy has to include all of them every single day, but just make sure that you own your name and your handle on every single platform that's out there. That's step one if I was starting today. Step two, to get a bit specific into the content strategy, I would make sure that if I'm on Instagram that I have at least 30 to 90 days or 30 to 90 content pieces ready to go. Now I know that sounds really intense, but it doesn't mean you need to have it planned out, ready to go, like already filmed and content batched. All that means is you need to have at least 30 ideas, at least 30 solid ways that you are going to show up consistently. The name of the game is consistency, right? If you're starting today, you can't come in hot and then like forget to post a week in. A lot of people get the, what I like to call like that content high. So like when you post and like you do what you say you're gonna do and then you fall off like a week later, it's really hard to pick back up, right? You need to keep going. And the way to keep going, in case you didn't know, girl, get out of them analytics, get out of them insights, okay? You're starting fresh. There are no insights, there are no analytics. Like literally turn it off, don't look at it. You need to just start and make sure that you're consistent. That should be the only barometer of success. Have I shown up consistently for 30 days? Have I shown up consistently for 90 days? That is the only, if the answer is yes, check, check, you've done your job, right? Check, check, you're starting off on the right foot. Now, you have your social entity across all the platform socials that you want to be on. You have at least some strong ideas, 30 content pieces that you can really get out there and hit the ground running on. And so now you want to grow. Like, that's when you start to look into the nitty-gritty of your content. After 30 to 90 days, you can have some takeaways, right? You can know, okay, my followers that I'm gaining, right? Because you started at 0. My followers that I'm gaining, they really love when I talk to the camera. Or actually, they really love ASMR. Or they really love good hooks. So that means people are there to learn. They want to know more about what it is you're serving up. So after you come up with your initial content strategy, don't analyze right away. Wait until you have a good 30 to 90 day foundation and see where you can go from there. After you've built your 30-day content kind of library and you have built up a little something something on Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform you're truly going after, make sure you're also building community, right? So if you're starting from 0, that means that you have no followers. You are gaining followers one by one. But as you gain those followers, you need to treat them like they are the biggest celebrity you have ever met. You need to call them by name. You need to cultivate community, right? You need to really show up for your followers. You need to be consistent with them. You need to DM them. I mean, literally, they need to be your best friends. So it's so much easier when you're starting from scratch because guess what? I mean, 0 to maybe 100 followers in the first couple of weeks, you can really cultivate that community and cultivate that audience. And honestly, your first followers, they are likely the ones that are going to stick with you once you hit 1 million followers. So cultivate that early community. Make sure they know what your goals are. Make sure they feel attached to your story, right? And don't wait to share your story when you have 1 million followers. Share your story when you think nobody is watching, when you think nobody is looking. That is how you really cultivate community. And honestly, like if you're nervous and scared to hit publish, which a lot of people, I think right now with social media and the way the industry is today, they have like that fear. We all have it. It doesn't go away. There are certain content pieces that make me nervous. They give me little butterflies and I get really excited to post, but also equally scared to post because two things can be true. But like, you can't let that cripple you. And I think when you're in the very early stages of building your brand on social media and trying to cultivate an audience and community, people like wait until they have thousands of followers to like share, oh, this is the real me. This is like who I am. This is the behind the scenes. Like, no. Cultivate that right now when you have a smaller, engaged, hyper engaged community. I think that's like the best way to go about it. And guess what, girl? Practice makes perfect. So if you're talking to the camera and there's only 5 people watching, I mean, you're gonna get better and better as those numbers continue to rise. So I think it's really important to cultivate an early community with the people that are choosing to follow you from the jump, right? Don't wait until the numbers rise to like celebrate them. Don't celebrate the 500th follower, celebrate the 5th follower, right? That is the way that you're really gonna build an engaged community. So as you're engaging your community, you're really cultivating a engaged audience and you're growing, right? You're growing on Instagram, you're growing across platforms. Things are looking good. I mean, continue on. Don't try to replicate or emulate. I think you just have to be inspired and know where that line kind of stops, right? You have to draw the line in the sand for yourself to make sure that you're staying true to you. Very hard lesson to learn, but if you master that earlier on in your career, then you're untouchable. A lot of people in the beginning get that feeling of it needs to be perfect, right? Like I need to have the best equipment, I need to have the best iPhone, I need to have the best everything. Get that out of your head right now, okay? Come close. Get that out of your head right now. You need something, of course, to film on, something to maybe use the phone to hold it up, prop it up, a tripod, ideally, but if not, a stack of books, a cardboard box. you need to make sure your setup is easy enough to where if you feel the inspiration or you know you're gonna film every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have your filming setup ready to go. That's all that matters. Whatever you're choosing to do, just make it consistent. Don't film on your DSLR if you can't film on your DSLR all the time and you can't reach for it all the time and you need help setting it up and you don't know the settings. Like, girl, get the iPhone, get some natural light, use the back camera and keep it pushing, right? That is the only way to like make sure in the beginning you're doing what you can basically sustain. Oops. Figure out like what your signature editing style is and stick to it. There's so many fun things to try on Instagram and TikTok. People are brilliant with editing, but if you're starting out, you just have to get into the habit of editing. You have to figure out what your editing style is by maybe trying new things. But I think it's most important to just figure out what you like and kind of gravitate towards that and stick to it for at least, again, 30 to 90 days. And then maybe you can start testing things out, changing things up. If y'all look at my editing style today, specifically for my cooking videos, YouTube loves to get on me because they're always saying my editing is too fast, my editing, you know, like they want more, they want more. But of course, that is strategic, right? Like my editing is a fast, quick cut type of editing style because with food and the type of food that I'm making, I want to make sure that my audience continues to watch the video either on a loop or they loved it so much, they got so much satisfaction from it that they're gonna go back and watch more of my videos like that. So all of that is strategic, all of that is intentional. I'm not doing it by surprise, or it's not a guess, it's not unintentional, it's literally strategic. Now I have longer form videos that I do post that are maybe sometimes up to a minute long, and sometimes those perform just as good as my shorter videos that are sometimes just like 11 seconds, and it's like getting a lot of content, a lot of clips into a very short time frame, but it's all strategic, right? But that's what works for me. There are people who cannot do short videos with a ton of clips because it just, one, doesn't work for the type of content that they have. Say you're doing comedy style content, like that necessarily wouldn't work in shorter form. Or say you're doing teaching content where you're teaching people about 401ks and stocks, and like you can't really do that in 11 seconds, right? Unless your strategy is to get people to maybe take an action off of the platform. You want people to maybe comment link and you send them your free course, and that way you can capture emails to then take people off of the platform. Think about what you want your end goal to be and curate your content and your editing style around that. My end goal, for the most part, I always want people to go to my website. I want them, if they want more, I want them to go to the website, get the free recipe, print the recipe, download the recipe, save the recipe as a pin, honey. I want you to go to my website. So for the most part, it's cool that you're only watching my video for 7 seconds, 10 seconds, 3 seconds. I don't even care if you only watch it for 1 second, because my end goal is to get you to go to my website. Other times, I want you to stick around and watch the whole video because maybe I didn't publish a recipe on my website. So all you have is this 1 minute video to go by, right? For you to replicate. And so I want you to stick around and watch the whole video. The takeaway here, think about the action you want your ideal viewer or follower to take. What is that action? And curate your editing style with that in mind. That is the most important thing. And then with that, stay consistent. Like, don't deviate. You can deviate after you have trends to work with, after you know what your audience is gonna react to. But don't be over here doing 10-second videos and then 3-minute videos and then another 20-second video. Like, don't be all over the place with it. If you're gonna come up with a content strategy for 30 days, do 30-second videos 4 times a week for 30 days, right? Have a specific strategy in mind so that way you can be consistent. I do think that implementing some of the things that I have mentioned today, whether that's being consistent, being authentic, coming up with a content strategy and editing style that is specific and unique to you. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just something that you can sustain. The name of the game is sustainability. How you grow is through consistency and sustainability. The girls who are making millions and the girls who are making zero, the difference is who's consistent and who's not, right? Like that really is the name of the game. So stay consistent, stay authentic, and if you do those things, then you'll be well on your way to growing a thriving, engaging audience on social media and getting to the coin, okay? Getting to the coin. So if you found this video helpful, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. And if you've gotten this far, comment below with some pink hearts so I know that you watched until the end. I appreciate y'all checking out this long form video, honey, because it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. So I'll see you next time. Let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see from a long form video standpoint, and we'll talk soon. If you like this look, get ready with me because the hair is laid. She's cute. She's real cute. Love y'all.